Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. Thank you so much for joining us today. On this episode of Red Carpet, we have a journalist that is capturing humanity through photographs. Ukrainian musicians pay tribute to Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and Sudanese-Canadian artist Emmanuel Jal speaks on his latest project. Let's get on with the show. And let's start the show with some of the highlights of the latest entertainment news from around the world. And we start off with some sad news. Haitian music star Michael Benjamin has died. According to reports, the singer and songwriter collapsed following a performance in Paris with Haitian band Karimi. The cause of death has not been confirmed, but reports said the singer died from cardiac arrest. And in more music news, Mattel makers of the Barbie doll are celebrating the career and journey of rock icon Tina Turner. The company said the Barbie doll design is inspired by the iconic outfit Turner wore in the music video for her smash hit, What's Love Got to Do With It? The doll, a part of Mattel's signature music series, sells for $55 and is currently sold out. And in some more music news, the American Music Awards has introduced a new category for Afrobeats ahead of the award ceremony in November. Burna Boy, CK, Fireboy DML, Tems, and Wizkid are nominated artists for the award. And in sports news, Karim Benzema has become the fifth Frenchman to win the coveted Ballon d'Or prize, with Senegal's Sadio Mane finishing second, becoming the first recipient of the Socrates Award for his accomplishments away from the football pitch. He was born into a life of a child soldier and managed to survive and achieve worldwide acclaim for his unique style of hip-hop and Afropop. South Sudanese-Canadian superstar Emmanuel Jal joins Heather Maxwell in a virtual conversation about his latest album, Shanga. Let's check it out.
Emmanuel Jal, it is such a pleasure to have you on Music Time in Africa.
Oh, thank you for making it possible.
Tell me about your new album, Shanga. This is your 7th album?
Yes, it's my 7th album, so Shanga is a thing that I am blessed. Real fight with Lucifer. Writing songs that can program us positively forward, because most of the song, people don't know how songs have got a tremendous way in which they can program us to act certain way that we didn't know. If you listen to a lot of swearing song, over the time you'll start swearing and cussing people. You ask yourself, why? Why did this come around? It's because of the environment that you've exposed your mind.
What makes this album special?
It's more dancey, it's more positive, it's more African sound driven. When I first began, I'm more hip hop focused. Every artist take a while before they find themselves.
How are you using music to advance peace and security in South Sudan?
So through the activism work, the platform was able to connect with different people that can put a spotlight in South Sudan or Sudan. I always believe when you put a spotlight in a dark place, the evil will perform less. And so with the music, with the awareness, with the campaign, with Save Darfur or Focus in South Sudan, with George Clooney involved, and all of those celebrities and individuals and the organization, plus the addition from the United Nations, all put an effort. It reduces the damage that could have taken place.
Rock-a-boom, yeah, a boom. Rock-a-boom, Hey Mama, and Lele are my favorite 3 so far. I have not listened to all the songs on your album yet. So tell me a little bit about the concept of those songs.
So basically what we wanted to bring fashion, dance, and beauty across. That's what always makes music. But also we want to have the integrity of how we present women in our videos. Most of the videos you just won't have a woman naked and the guy next to them. You're surrounded with a bunch of women shaking their bottom at you. And I thought maybe that's not the direction I want to do. I want to see how can we present women in a more realistic way, a lifestyle that is the normal way.
How How is it working with your sister?
It's always amazing with my sister because she has a unique voice. Her voice is very authentic and unique.
Do you work with her often?
We work with her, most of the time she has her own thing. She has a different style that she'd like to pursue. So we have to convince her, hey, this is the style that works best for you.
One last question. If you would like to make any comment to your music fans.
What I can say is thank you for believing in us. It's very challenging for a lot of artists to come with sound. You play my music, you share my music, you listen to it, you dance it, you make me relevant. Everything is looking for attention, and anything you give attention, you give life. In my culture, in South Sudan, in Nuer language or the Nas language, when somebody talks to you and they say, so-and-so has been the person who has been seeing me. That person has looked inside me and understood me. And to us, I would say to the fans, thank you for seeing me.
Emmanuel Jal, thank you so much.
Adriana Zehbrauskas is a photojournalist who captures the humanity of people caught up in major events around the globe. Aaron Feder in New York talks with her about how she navigates her own emotions to take photos in a truthful way and the importance of ethics when picking this career path.
I went to journalism school. I always wanted to be a storyteller. I think in the end I did not choose to be a photojournalist. I think I was photojournalism chose me. As a photojournalist, we cover many kinds of stories, but in the last 10 years, I've pretty much dedicated myself to covering underrepresented communities. I was based in Mexico City for 13 years, and there I got to cover a lot of migration and a lot of the violence that surrounded the drug wars. So I did a lot of work in Central America, Latin America, and now I'm based in Phoenix, so I'm following up with migration, but on the other side of the wall. There are many challenges. First of all, your life is not under any kind of schedule. You cannot schedule life because news just happen, and you have to be ready to jump out of bed and fly to Haiti because there was an earthquake, and so it's a challenge for your relationships, for your social life, because you're always canceling things, but people who know you and understand what you do will accept that. My work is a document. We document history, we document traditions, cultures, we preserve memories, and we expose issues. 2 years ago, I did a story for the New York Times. We went to the border in Arizona, in Sasabe, and we photographed some migrants that were being deported, and we photographed this man who was from Central America, and he had just been deported like 5 minutes before, and he was calling his mother. He was completely distressed, and this photo was on the cover of the New York Times. There are stories that have to be told even when the deadlines die down. There's so many things I love about what I do, but I think what I love the most is this possibility of being with so many different people and situations, just to get into people's homes and and lives. And I think this, and to do this, people have to trust you, and this is something that I do not take lightly. I don't take it for granted. I think it's a huge privilege to be able to witness and share stories of other people.
One of history's most famous composers, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, has a Ukrainian connection. His son lived in Lviv for 3 decades, and And so Ukrainian musicians, with a bit of help from the caretakers of Mozart's legacy, put together a very special tribute. Emmanuel Jal has the story.
The Costa violin was one of 3 of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's personal violins. Thousands arrive to see it in Mozart's hometown of Salzburg, Austria, every year. For the first time in the instrument's 250-year history, a Ukrainian musician recently played the priceless violin. In late July, Andrei Murza from Odessa traveled to Salzburg and played the violin while recording music that will be released in September as part of a video project to raise funds for Ukraine.
This instrument was made by Pietro Antonio della Costa in 1764 and owned by Mozart himself during his Viennese period. You cannot express it in words. You must feel it.
At the Mozart family residence in downtown Salzburg, Antoni Baryshevsky, a pianist from Kiev, is playing the pianoforte, also known as hammer clavier. This instrument dates to the late 18th century. Mozart himself played this keys while composing his masterpieces.
It's a pianoforte, really, not a harpsichord. And it has only one pedal you press with your knee, not your foot, as in modern instruments.
These unique opportunities were made possible by the Mozarteum, a nearly 200-year-old organization that serves to protect Mozart's legacy. The Mozarteum allowed 6 Ukrainian soloists and musicians to play Mozart's instruments in a show of support of its Eastern European colleagues. It's all part of Lviv Mozart, a festival in Ukraine honoring the youngest of Mozart's 6 children, Franz Xaver Wolfgang Mozart, who lived in Lviv for 30 years when it was the capital of Galicia, the biggest province in the Austrian Empire.
The works of Mozart the son were performed on the hammer clavier, played by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart the father. It is the premiere here in Salzburg, a sonata by Franz Xaver Mozart that he dedicated to Josephine von Cavalcabo, his muse and Lviv resident, was played on his father's violin for the first time.
Mozart's son founded the St. Cecilia Society and Choir in 1826 and the Institute of Singing in Lviv, the city's first music school. It was Franz Xaver who bequeathed his father's notes, personal belongings, instruments and letters that would become the bulk of the collection of the Salzburg Mozarteum Foundation.
A lot connects Lviv and Salzburg through the Mozart family. The program we presented in Austria is the Lviv Mozartian line. These works were born in Lviv thanks to the youngest son of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Franz Xaver, and his closest circle.
The performers, some of whom have been forced to relocate during the war, are hoping that funds raised by the release of the Solidarity concert will restore the missile-damaged Kotlarevsky University of Arts in Kharkiv. Emmanuel Jal for VOA News, Salzburg, Austria.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We are also on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube, where you can watch our videos. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.